speech therapist, speech pathologist, speech language pathologist. There are lots of names for the role, but one thing remains the same. Speechies are passionate about working with people with communication and swallowing difficulties. You may have heard that speechies help children to say sounds like the sound or the s sound, but that's only one small part of the job. Here at CUI, our speechies work with children for a range of reasons. We help children to be understood. Have you ever heard a child and they're saying something and they're really passionate about it, but you're just not quite sure what they're trying to say? It might be that they're having difficulties making a sound with their mouth or sending a message from their brain to their mouth about how to pronounce that sound. And we call this area speech. Or sometimes other children go to say something and become stuck, repeat themselves, or lengthen a sound, also known as stuttering. And we refer to this area as fluency. We also help children to understand, to share, and connect. Communication is so much more than just speaking. It's about the words we understand. Can we follow directions? It's about putting words into sentences, putting those sentences together into stories to share information that's important to us. And we call this area language. I don't know if you've ever had a conversation with someone and noticed that it kind of follows a bit of a pattern. We start the conversation, we take turns, we share ideas. I might have to change the language I use if you haven't understood me or there's been a communication breakdown. When we use language to connect socially with others, we call this social communication. Speechies also help children to read and write, and this area of practice is called literacy. For some children, they'll see a word and they're not too sure how to say the sounds and blend them back together to read the word, and they might not know what the word means in the context. We also help children with writing. So much goes into writing. It's about coming up with our idea, what words do we want to use, how do we put them on paper, how do we spell them. So with Speechies, we help children to read words and make sense of what they're reading, and also express their ideas in the written form. As Speechies, we also help children to communicate in a way that's meaningful for them. Communication looks different for everyone. For some people, it's speaking, using gestures, it might be using signs or picture symbols or a dedicated high-tech communication device. Anything that isn't the spoken word we refer to as augmentative and alternative communication. It's about helping children to find their voice, whatever that looks like. As Speechies, we recognise that we are only one small piece of this child's puzzle, so we work collaboratively with others. Anyone who's in the child's life we can work with, so it could be parents, guardians, teachers, support workers, occupational therapists, physios, you name it. We really want to come together and collaborate with others to make sure that the support we're providing is individualised and effective. So when should a child see a speech pathologist? As a parent or guardian, if you notice your child has trouble communicating, it could be making sounds, finding the words they want to use, telling stories, it could be making friends, reading, writing. If you have concerns in those areas, I'd encourage you to reach out to a speech pathologist. You can contact our client care team to find out more.